Oh, do you have a Band-Aid? Because I scraped my knee when I fell for you. Get it? Because pickup lines, they're pretty annoying. Hi folks, Fruit and Doggy here. Here to do a video on aggravations and annoyances. And the subject for today is basically cable and satellite TV. And I suppose this is more of a general complaint, or at least a rationale on why I don't use those services anymore. I just don't see them having any value. And that's where the complaint comes in. They aren't worth really diddly squat anymore. I remember growing up through the years hearing this joke so many times and in so many different ways. In the future, there will be hundreds, no, thousands of channels, and yet there will be nothing to watch. No! Curse you, the future! Curse you! And sadly, that's borne out. That's really been the case. There's so many different channels, but anymore their content variety has really shrunk, sadly. And ironically, it seems that with the lineups available on most shows, they can be boiled down to some form of reality TV or basically just a drama show. So that's why I've really lost a lot of interest. Take, for instance, game show channel, cooking channels, travel channels, not so much the sports side, but MTV, what should be educational channels, drama channels. They all have some version of a reality TV style of show or a competition of some sort. The cooking channels, they have so many cooking competitions, and I've seen quite a few of them and I have found interest in them, but I actually lost a lot of interest after I started watching them for a while because I realized that they were so subjective, the judges that is, and how they were determining who the winner is, that it really drove me crazy. And let me clarify a little bit, that was very unclear. When I say subjective, their standards are unclear. What are they grading it on? What are they looking for? Take Chop, for instance, is a very popular show, and it's been going on for a couple seasons. And there's a few different things that they really look for and really hold the contestants accountable for. So if they miss an ingredient from the basket, if they serve inedible stuff on the plate, that I think if it were truly a decorative purpose only, that would be, and it's very clear, that would be okay. So if they were to haul out a pineapple and plop that on the plate and dump the ingredients in, that would probably work. But if they have inedible ingredients tossed in with the meal and it's not, it seems pretty clear that they know better, that's a big mistake. On improperly cooked food, especially raw meat or undercooked meat, that's dangerous. But they haven't really explicitly made it clear that those are basically losing dishes. And I think that's a real shame. I think that if they were to make it absolutely clear, hey, if you do any of these things, you're out. You lose automatically. Somebody could have a poor tasting dish that has all of the ingredients utilized, that is at least properly, safely cooked, with nothing inedible or dangerous to eat on the plate. And if you miss an ingredient, if you make one of these clear mistakes, you lose. But I think the other thing is if they had a scoring system a scale of 1 to 10, and maybe 3 different areas: taste, originality, full use of the ingredients, then that would make the show so much better. And this isn't just a Chopped complaint, so that's just a small example of what I find on so many different channels and shows, is so many clear flaws where it lacks quality, it lacks an aspect that would make it really interesting and engaging. And I think a lot of it just has to do with simple laziness. And I don't want to badmouth that too much. It's very easy to undermine how much work it takes to make a TV show or to make anything when you're not the one actually doing it. I'm sure, especially the editing segments, taking all of that video footage and compressing it down into about a 45-50 minute show, I'm sure that takes a lot of work. But I'm really tired of reality shows on every single channel. I'm tired of the lack of originality, but just a lack of diversity and real variety. Whenever I do go to somebody's house and they have TV, and I try to watch something, kill some time, watch a bit of TV, I'll channel surf, and frankly, I'm very hard pressed to find anything worth watching. When I've had nothing else to do, I will basically just forcibly pick the absolute best option that I can find. And that's the reason I've even seen shows like Chopped. It's not a show that I would really choose to watch if there were anything better. But when that's the best I can find, yeah, I'll watch it, I suppose. And when that's the case for just a small period of time, an hour or two, and those different situations, once or twice a month, why in the world would I pay to have TV service at the house? Why would I pay for TV service for myself? So I can struggle to find anything to watch? I don't think so. And I don't know. I suppose the other thing that really bothers me about these services is that through the years they've changed some of their channels. They've definitely had new content, new shows on, but they haven't done anything to really increase the value of what you're receiving as a consumer. Now, if you have satellite TV, you have the DVR system where you can record shows. That's a value, that's a service. But otherwise, you're not getting anything more, yet they keep cranking up the price. And when it's $10, $15, $20 a month, and it just keeps increasing, that's really a losing proposition. Why in the world would I keep paying more when I'm not getting anything more out of it? I don't know. I think it's basically at this point becoming a spiraling system. They're losing consumers, and with the way TV works, there's always going to be at least a certain segment of the population that'll be dependent on cable or satellite TV simply because they don't have other forms of entertainment available. They don't have a computer, they don't have internet, and that wouldn't be feasible for them to get. To be fair, acquiring a computer, the skills necessary to use it, so on and so forth, is much more of a cost than just buying a TV, hooking it up, and getting TV service. But for anybody who has other options, that's TV services are just going to keep losing consumers. And as they lose consumers, they're going to take a loss in their profit, and they're going to have to try and recover that somehow, so they keep charging more, which makes it less desirable, and it just becomes a spiral. I've received so many mail advertisements for bundles to expand my phone service, to expand my internet service, to also include, hey, if you act now, you can get TV service bundled in and only cost, I think, an extra $100 a month. No. It's not that much, but it's definitely enough of an increase that I have no interest. Why do I want to add, let's say, $500 a year, about $40 odd a month to my expenses just to get TV service with all the different issues and complaints that come with it? And again, just having to deal with commercials for every 30 minutes of entertainment, for every 30 minutes getting about 23 minutes of entertainment and having to deal with 7 minutes of commercials. And I think the most egregious and insulting programs available are movies. Those are absolutely atrocious. I have definitely seen movies that are maybe 70 to 90 minutes that are as long as 2.5 hours. They take up that large of a block and they are just pumping in an hour's worth of commercials. That is really disgusting. And again, it's their way of trying to make their money and to regain their investments, but I don't care. If you're not going to sell a good product, then I'm not going to pay for it. Or in this case, a service. But that's basically my main annoyance is TV just isn't worth it. And what's really funny is that as a kid, I watched a ton of TV. I was watching cartoons all of the time. And as I sort of thought about my future, how I'd be spending quite a bit of my free time, I really thought TV would be the king. I thought TV would stay with me my entire life. But ever since I went to college, TV has fallen so far down. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever pay for TV service. And that's just not what I would have ever expected. And I still enjoy watching shows. I'll take an example of a show that's not on air anymore, or at least finally ended, Mythbusters. That really had a lot of good points for me. It was edutainment, as the expression goes. It was a little educational, but also very entertaining. And it wasn't just a reality show. It was a little original. It had that nice calibration and balance that so few shows seem to get right. And yes, it can be silly and over the top. Definitely. They blow up so many things on there. It's you can see their special effects background. But compared to like the History Channel and Ancient Aliens, it goes so far over the top that it loses the brief. It's not educational anymore. It's basically conspiratorial, wild, wacky theories. And they can have some entertainment value, but really I think a lot of those channels miss the point that people do enjoy educational material if it has quality and holds its interest and can hold an audience's interest. But I do think it's really sad to see the state that TV's in. I'm not really sure if it would ever crumble completely, pardon me, but I am curious to see in the next, say, 10, 20, 30 years, how much it's going to warp and change. Will they ever get to a point where you can just select maybe a small handful of channels, or will the content producers maybe somehow package and sell directly to viewers? I guess almost in a paid-for service version of YouTube, perhaps. So I want to watch this show, so I'll pay X amount, and I can watch those episodes streamed directly through my TV. or I can pay for the entire seasons or the entire series, and it's accessible through some sort of content box that connects to my TV. That actually wouldn't be a terrible product design. You would have to, or a service, you'd have to work out a lot of details, but I could see that being sort of nice. But anyways, we'll just see what happens. But actually, that's another way that I've really lost touch with a lot of entertainment, is because I don't watch TV. I don't see all those commercials. I don't know what's going on in some ways. So, I'm not really too torn up about that. But anyways, this has been me complaining about TV. That's original. But anyways, have a good one, folks. And as always, fruit and doggy.